So the most common question asked in e-commerce, according to a bunch of YouTube comments, is how do I get started? Followed by how do I pick a niche and how do I pick a product? I'm going to be answering all three in this video, so hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get straight into it. So when it comes to getting started, the biggest issue that you have is picking a product and picking your niche. Now, a lot of YouTubers will say, pick a product that solves a problem. This raises the question, how do I know what the problems are? The answer is answerthepublic.com. Before you click off, this is not a sponsored tool. This is absolutely free. You get a certain amount of free searches per day. So yeah, it's a free tool that you can use, and I'll explain why it is so good. The complex algorithm behind this website basically auto-completes data gathered from search engines like Google. Using this data, it can then quickly crank out every useful phrase or question that people are asking around this topic. Now, to show you how this works, you could start off in theory by using a random word generator. So for example, I've got this, I've set it to noun to give me an object, and just by doing this, I've got the word coffee. Now, I go to answerthepublic.com with the intent of using that word to see what the questions are and see what the trends are around that topic. Now, as you can see here, I've gone on to Answer the Public. Now, you can pick the country that you want to see the popular search terms for. In this case, I'll stick to the US and I'll keep it as English for the language. Now, as you can see from the first diagram, it separates the search terms by the first word in the search phrase. So in this situation, you've got how, what, why, when, and who, and then you've also got can, which, how, and where. So any search terms beginning with those phrases will show up on this website. This gives you the most common asked questions. Great for writing blogs and organizing and creating content. You might find a common phrase or a common theme amongst these questions being asked. For example, when I've typed in coffee, there's a couple of questions here surrounding the word pregnancy or pregnant. So if I was just going to take an idea off the bat here, I would say pregnant friendly coffee or something like that. Scrolling down, you can find more search terms, so such as those that include the words with, without, can, and for. Looking at the without section, you have coffee without milk, coffee without caffeine, and on the other side, you've got searches such as coffee with honey, coffee with alcohol. This tool is a great hack for brainstorming. It gives you an idea what your target audience is looking for. These are problems that your target audience are facing. Most of these you'll find already have solutions in place, but you'll soon find one which doesn't. And just because it has a solution in place doesn't mean that you can't go down that route. You might be able to fill in a knowledge gap further. You might be able to fill in a gap in the market. Maybe it's got a solution in place in a certain country, but not in the country that you're targeting, for example. In reality, I wouldn't use a random word generator to pick your niche. I'd obviously go with another approach. If you're looking to build a long-term business, a long-term brand, then you want to pick a niche that you're passionate about. You don't necessarily have to have knowledge in that niche. It's just got to be something that you have an interest in and that you are passionate about. The reason why you need to be passionate about it is because you need to have that hunger. You need to have that hunger and passion for the niche and wanting to be successful in that industry and in that niche. So if you are looking to launch a long-term brand and a long-term business, you'd also want that niche to be evergreen. What this means is that it will have consistent demand over a long period of time. For example, the World Cup niche is temporary. It's not an evergreen niche. Whereas the pet niche or the home niche, for example, is evergreen. There's consistent demand. And to further back up my point, you could even go check Google Trends to check what kind of niche it is. By using Google Trends, you can see the consistent searches over a longer period of time. You can see how stable the demand is. If you search for the pet niche or home niche, you'll be able to see the demand over time. If you search for something like Halloween, you can see that it's seasonal. And if you search for something like World Cup or fidget spinners or a trend like that, then you can see that it's inconsistent and it's less stable. If you're not looking to build a long-term business and you just want to build a business to bring in short-term high income, then you want to be trend spotting. What this means is getting on the back of a trending item or a trending niche. This might be one that's trending on TikTok and you want to make a one product store based on that item or based on that niche, showcasing the product via TikTok and Facebook ads. You want to aggressively scale this product to receive a high short-term income. A good time to do this is Q4 and around certain seasonal holidays. This might sound great in theory, however, the model is not sustainable, but you could build the business to a point where you could sell it for maybe 5 figures in a short period of time. Someone I know picked a product in the beauty niche, grew it for 6 months, and then sold it for £30,000. That person then spent the money on a car and now is back to the drawing board. Now, if that's a route that you want to go down, then by all means check out my trending niche video, look at the products that are trending in those niches and get on the back of that and aggressively scale. Once you've got your niche, you then need to find your product. You might stumble across this on social media, you may create it yourself, you might find it using a product research tool. If you want to go down the product research tool route, then do check out my comparison series where I look at Ecom Hunt versus Peakster and Ecom Hunt versus Dropship Rabbit. These are the most popular product research tools in the game right now. Once you have your niche and your product, you have overcome the biggest hurdle. Now, when it comes to marketing, you want to be using every tool in your disposal, every arrow in your quiver. Social media is an obvious one, but you also want to be using SEO, which stands for Search Engine Optimization. This is one of the best ways to grow organically because you're not spending money on ads. One of the best ways to grow organically through SEO is to use blogs. Remember what I spoke about at the beginning, using Answer the Public to give you content ideas? Now you can use these content ideas for blog titles for your blogs that will drive traffic to your website. Now, using Answer the Public to generate blog titles will help you drive traffic to your website, and then your conversion funnel can do the rest for you. If you want to know more about how to use blogs to increase your SEO, then check out this video in one of these corners. Now, I'm not going to go through how to set up your Shopify store because there are a ton of videos out there, and to be quite honest, I can't add any more value than they already have. I only make videos on what I think I can add value to, what I think my experience can add value to. For example, how to ace product photos, how to optimize your listing, or how to use Canva for business purposes. That's why you should subscribe, because I post every week and soon we'll be posting 2 times a week. So you may as well subscribe. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.